The SNP have been branded disrespectful over a plot to produce magazines aimed at persuading undecided voters to back Scottish independence. SNP Deputy Leader Keith Brown addressed the SNP conference today saying the party would publish a series of magazines aiming to answer undecided voters' questions on independence. He added the new magazines would give Scottish voters information about the benefits of an independent Scotland. The magazines, Mr. Brown said, would be published right up to the day of a referendum, if Scotland is granted another vote. Addressing the SNP conference, he added, "Our plans had to be put on hold when lockdown came. But with a brighter future ahead and more people asking for information on what independence means for them, the first in the series will include part 1 of a household guide to independence, which you can use to convince those still looking to be convinced of the merits of independence." But Dean Lockhart MSP, Scottish Tories Constitution spokesperson, said, "The last thing anyone will want is yet more SNP propaganda coming through the door, especially in the middle of a pandemic. The nationalists must focus on what's important now, protecting lives and developing the post-COVID economy. Actually acting like a party in government. Instead of this, their priority is jabbing a magazine at people. Whether it's grinding down or this fact-free hectoring, this shows disrespect to voters." The last independence referendum saw a clear majority vote to stay in the UK by 55% to 45%, but the SNP hope that if they get a majority in next year's Scottish Parliament election they can force another referendum. And despite Mr. Johnson refusing SNP calls for a fresh vote on the issue, the First Minister has said she hopes another ballot could be held in the early part of the next term of the Scottish Parliament. Mr. Brown also took a swipe at Mr. Boris at the conference, claiming he was responsible for more turns than a parade ground drill sergeant. He added, "Remember this, Boris Johnson has been responsible for more about turns than a parade ground drill sergeant. If you don't believe that Boris Johnson will change his position, ask the 27 leaders of the EU who thought he was acting in good faith when he signed the withdrawal agreement."